I stay open.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably more
way open.
Yes. Oh my God, that sounded so wrong.
I didn't mean that, Mom.
My heart,
your family,
my heart stays open.
Your heart
more open than it should. Yes. That was right.
All right.
More open than it should be. But I do date, and it's a fascinating adventure out there. Mostly though, I think there's really good men out there. I think to a certain extent, I'm a very unique sort of unicorn of a woman. And so it's going to take a unique person.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, I have really learned how to live my life and enjoy it and not sit around waiting. It's
going to take a unique person because you're a unique type of woman. How about lowering your standards and just being happy with just someone that is sane and halfway healthy and has all their teeth in their mouth? But that's probably not good enough for a woman like you, who has priced herself out of the market, who always thought she could do better, because this lady's 52 years old. Been in Hollywood and for all these years. She's the daughter of one of the greatest entertainers ever, Diana Ross. She has had access to suitable men, but just because she thought she could do better, she didn't want to settle. She's 52 and still dating. Assistance.
I was saying to someone recently that I'm one of the first generations of choice, and it's not anymore, which really, there was a window and that has shifted. And I do think that that's going to change dating for women so much.
When you mean you've been the product of choice?
Yeah, like the assumption of Roe v. Wade and the ability for a woman to find her own delight and pleasure and choice around how she navigates dating or how one would navigate dating. And we're in a different world now. And I'm curious what that will look like. It frightens me for younger girls because of many reasons, obviously. But even with the systemic protection of Roe v. Wade, I still was coming up against the cultural norms of being a choiceful woman and owning my own body and my own choices and what it is that I'm looking for in a relationship, and the ability to negotiate in a relationship what it is you want the relationship to be between the two of you, as opposed to what society says it should be.
Well,
and that's different.
What did she just say? Like, women just say words. No. Let me rephrase. Delusional women. They just say words. She's talking about Roe v. Wade. You can still unalive a child if you want to. That right is there. You actually have more rights when it comes to that type of thing. Donald Trump said, we're not going to bother with it on a federal level. It's going to be up to the individual states to take care of that. So what that means is, if the leaders in your state put that on the ballot, you actually have a chance to vote on something as despicable as unaliving a child. These Democrats have twisted, and they twist everything. This is what they do. But that's what the whole Roe v. Wade thing is about. He said the federal government is not going to regulate this. Y'all individual states, y'all handle this. It's up to y'all. Your body, your choice. But what about that child that's inside you? Do they have a choice?
I don't know that we're gonna lose that. I think women we're used to having a say in our lives.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the whole movement is about sort of reharnessing us,
Sure.
whether is it really about,
and can that really
reproductive
work?
rights? Can that really work now that women are educated and we're being raised differently? I mean, the truth is that fathers are modernized.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
Mostly.
Mostly they are, and if you were to ask the average man, how are you raising your daughter? Because you love her. The average father that loves their daughter wants them to be excellent, and they want them to have opportunity and freedom. When you think about you don't want your daughter saddle marrying some guy that chose her because he just didn't think about anything else and
who
was
believes
ready
that her.
See, that's bullshit. See, these people, they don't know average people. They don't know average people because I teach my daughters that marriage is not about happiness. Marriage is about duty. Happiness is like how you feel from minute to minute. That shit can change, especially for a woman. It don't really change in men. I'm talking about men, a man, not a boy, not a beta man. Happiness is not the goal when you're talking about marriage. Marriage it's about a duty. You're going to be a wife to this man. Eventually, if this is what you want, you are going to be a mother. You have duties. Happiness is not in there. Nowhere. Now, what's the opposite of happiness? Sad. That doesn't mean you're going to be sad if happiness doesn't play into the equation. But if you're looking for happiness, your happiness is based on you. 187% your happiness is based on you. Now, as men, we know we have a purpose. And if you want to say happiness, I don't even know if that fits for men. There's no happiness involved. We just doing what we got to do. Now, for women, if your purpose, if you base your happiness, as y'all want it to be, on your purpose as a wife and a mother, well, yeah, you'll be happy. They put this happiness shit into it. That's not what marriage is about. Marriage is duty. Marriage is work. If you even think about it on the surface, like you yourself, just by yourself as a person, you have things you like, you dislike, your issues, this, that, and the other. And you bring a whole nother person into your life. And you cohabitate and you commingle and you decide to enter to a contract and a covenant under God. That's like you got your issues because everybody got something. Everybody got some things. And then you bring another person into that, which this is our purpose on this earth. A woman's purpose is a man. Without a man, you would not exist. You would be useless. That's just what it is. And you bring another person into this, and then one day, if you're looking for happiness, and then all of a sudden one day you're just not happy, so you just end it all. Which is like, I just want to be happy. Well, do what makes you happy. Does being by yourself, when you are social, which means being social involves other people, most notably your mate, your husband.
body is his choice.
Exactly. So I don't think a lot of leaders are thinking about that.
Yeah, well, and they haven't been asked to, because I think it's not always a context that if it's an area that you don't have to think into.
Right.
But I think there is, it is a genuine, regular thought process for me. It's one of the reasons, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great...
Yeah, she date younger men because... I would venture to say whether it's younger or older, they have less than she does. Right? And so she can control these men. Here's the kicker. At some point, if she's in a relationship with these men who have less than she does, she starts to resent these men. That's why she's 52 and single. And still dating. A woman like this, she's an attractive woman. Her body, even at 52, her body is nice. I've seen some IG pics of Miss Tracee Ellis Ross. At 52, what about when she was 22, 32? 42. It's her decisions that she has made where she's on this thing with Michelle Obama. I don't even really understand most of what they're saying. They just, they're in this elitist, they don't know how fucking dumb they look. Maybe they don't care. I don't think they care. I don't think they care because they're not trying to appeal just to the everyday person, because they have no idea. They've lost that because they have forgot that they were once just a normal everyday person. This is like, what? I don't, what the fuck are they talking? What are they saying? This is mumbo jumbo at its finest.
Great dinner, by the way. We're across the table. Your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes. This is what I was saying. Tales from Tracee's.
It's fun. It's really fun to share.
Tracee tales.
But
I'm sorry.
But one of the reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner, and so often, and it's not just that I'm older. I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not.
But what does any of that mean? That would be my question. What does a whole full person live a very robust life? Like, that means you've been through a lot of shit. And it says to me that you are set in your ways and you're not willing to change. You're going to take it or leave it. That's what it says to me. I don't know.
Not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity. And
oh, here we go. Let's go.
Have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, So it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization, but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that. That there's times where I'll be, sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
So what she just said is, keep in mind, when people like this say toxic masculinity, they just mean masculinity. And one of the other things that she was talking about is a man that is not on board with the whole LGBTQ and all of these type of things. That is jarring to a person like her and Michelle Obama, because they all into that shit. Because that's just what it is. That's just shit. That's basically what she said. So it'll go back to what I said a few minutes ago. Dating the younger guys because she can control them. And then if she gets into a relationship with them, she'll resent them and then she'll just push them to the side. Just get up out of it. Because that masculinity is what she craves, right? But if she coming to a man that has this masculinity, he's not gonna put up with the shit that she has going on. But she's 52 and unmarried. She takes on this strong black woman persona. I've been doing it by myself for all this time, and who are you to come in and tell me this, that, the other? Because I'll tell you in a minute, don't be putting those ass pics on IG like you do. Don't do that. Imagine a man coming here and telling this lady that.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Your chamber pot. Like, where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match. And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up.
Yeah.
That I'm not interested in. So, but it's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies on dating.
She said, teach somebody or grow them up. That means, well, you're going to do what I want you to do. I'm going to emasculate you down to the point to where you're going to be pretty much a woman. And when she runs into what she calls toxic masculinity, which is just masculinity, we ain't having that. What do you... If this shit is wrong, it's just wrong. I mean, but we're grown, we're all grown. We live in a free society. Do what the fuck you want.
And I have come up with mine. I have come up with what works for me and what makes sense for me and what feels safe for me.
Yep.
I mean, like, I'm not on dating apps. I have friends that have great success with dating apps, but that's just not something I'm comfortable with.
So you're meeting folks in the wild then?
That's the only way for me. Or someone sets me up, or I meet them at an event. I meet someone. It's usually people that also have a level of recognition that they have as much to lose as me to a certain extent. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had great luck lately, but I do have to say I'm moving up on what it is that I'm looking for as a match. Yeah. I've had some doozies.
There's no match.
Yeah. But I just love watching your life because you were modeling so many things, the next phase, how many versions of ourselves we can become at all ages in life.
Michelle Obama, your face is just so strong, you kind of got a jawline like stronger than a man's. hands are big as hell. I'm just making an observation.
Life, and how to build the life you want.
Yes.
Not the life that somebody told you were supposed to have. And let me tell you, I told you this about the girls, and Tracee, just like, she mentors the girls. She's always there for them. But trying to make sure that I am not subconsciously sending them these messages about what their life should look like. Mm-hmm. Even like when you ask, are you dating anyone? I mean, that's something that we ask young people in their 20s, you know, the whole thing about weddings,
we talk a lot about that.
Yeah, it's just like the pre-proposal and the bachelorette and the pre-honeymoon and then the 3 wedding dresses and have you thought about
the amount of money,
your 32 list items of who you want to marry, or are you more busy picking out your photographer?
Yeah, it's interesting, that whole, I hope that is starting to dissipate culturally. So. I really do. I think social media is perpetuating some of those things in a really big way. But I did dream of my wedding growing up. And that's not to say that I didn't dream of the bigness of my life, but I could have spent a lot more time dreaming of my life.
She said bigness. Is bigness a word? I'm not gonna look it up. This is some modern delusion that's beyond, and even though these people are so not in touch with normal people, there's normal people that are saying this same type of shit. This is fucking crazy. And then her brother sitting over there co-signing all of this. Let me be in that room. Like, the fuck are y'all talking about? Basic question. Why were you put on this earth? We will start there and we will end there, because they'll probably make up some type of fanciful bullshit. I don't even know what they would say, because they just switch up so much. I don't even know what they would say at this point. But oh my gosh, my ear hurt listening to this.
And as much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
That's a great point for people to hear.
That's part of your problem. You want a partner, and then you're going to judge said partner on if he's right or wrong. That's why you're 52 and single with no children. That's why. Because if you meet a man, it's not a partnership. Someone has to lead. And when women lead, the shit goes into the ground because you make decisions on the way that you feel. A man don't do that. That's the problem. It's glaring to me. I don't know if anybody else sees it.
I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be, I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship. So even though the grief does emerge and that comes, and I hope.
So how much pressure is that to put on someone? I have to make your life better. You can't put that much pressure on a human. For one, that's just ambiguous. Do we have 10 bullet points to what I have to do to make your life better? Of course, I'm not going to make it worse. I'm not going to bring anything into it besides myself. But to tell somebody, you have to make my life better, these are her words. Who is going to enter into that? What man that's of any substance or just a good common decency and has his wits about him and just logically thinking, a woman says to me, you have to make my life better. Roadrunner, I'm out. I can't do that. Nobody can do that. Your life is what it is. I can't make your life better. I don't care if I had 672.982.1 with an @ billion. I can't make it better. And you said they will have to make your life better. That's why you at where you at.
Hold that. I think of what I've done, and I woke up every morning trying to do my best. I didn't wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to mess this day up.
That's right.
So I must be where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know. Sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have, and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind. Yeah. And it's built a really beautiful experience around me. And I have incredible friends.
You do.
So, woo! I hope women are listening to these two delusional, diluted women and go the opposite direction. But if you're on Facebook, like this video, share this video, comment on this video. Go over to YouTube, Mr. Info 5000. Peace.